All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is good to be here. Good to see everyone out there in the side chat, and good to have Alan back with us. But before we get going there, Jamie, would you get us started off right, sir?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, all right. Thank you, sir. Alan, what's going on, man?
Oh man. Great weekend last weekend. Thanks Kingpin for jumping in for me. Been a standard work week past that. Do have one interesting story of what happened last weekend, but before go into any of that, right now out in the side chat we got BS and Edward Petty, Gizzard Gary. He say Jason Stewart, Kyle, Lakeview Outdoors, Michael Hurtneck, Rich White, Tim S. Alan B. Prone is out there. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bald and Curious out there as well, unfortunately for all of us. Tactical Fud. And many more that I'm just not going to tell you who they are. You have to see for yourself.
Did you forget the YouTube auditor?
No, I didn't. I was going to greet the YouTube auditor a little bit later. I just didn't think they dignified. Fuck it. What's up, YouTube auditor?
All right, that's better. Now it feels more normal. Daniel, what's going on, man?
Chilling up on the porch in the shade, drinking a cup of coffee. I was thinking about doing a little shooting today, but you know what? It was just way too hot. It's hot, humid. The summer is just almost to an end. Hunting season is just around the corner, and good times are coming.
Talking of hot, how hot is it out there, Matt?
Out here, it's 100 plus right now. Well, not right now, but this week it's supposed to be 102 to 105, I think. We just got done. We're getting over our rainy season, which did cool it off a little bit for about a week, but made it really humid. But yeah, I haven't. It hasn't stopped me from shooting, so I don't know what to say about that.
you know how Daniel can be.
Life's too short to overstress it. If it's I don't have to take a special trip to the gun range.
That's true. You get to walk out your back door and shoot as much as you like. I have to drive a minimum of 35, 40 minutes to get where I go.
Yeah.
There you go. Flood found some primers. Nice. Funny you should mention that, New York Outcast. Someone on here on the panel decided to sell one. Holy crap! And look, I hide his face.
Yes, I sold one.
So, what was the purpose behind selling it, and which one?
My G44, the 22. I don't shoot the 22 long rifle as much as I thought I was going to. Had about 1,000 rounds through it. Bought it brand new, when they first came out, and it sits in the. I shoot it so little, it's the only one that actually sits in its gun case that it came in. And I just decided I could use the money more in the gun, and found somebody to buy it.
sucker born every minute, ain't there?
Yeah, look at the CZ owners we got here.
You don't hear us complaining.
Actually, last time I talked to you, you were complaining about your CZ not working.
I found out the problem.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, okay. The mag, the follower, was busted.
Like broken?
Yeah, broken. It was broken. So that, and one reason I was think I solved my light primer strike problem. There was a spent primer underneath my lock and load, so I don't think I was getting the full downstroke when I was seating the primers.
Oh, so it was a reloading error, not a gun error.
It's looking like it. That's why I was going to go out and shoot some today to confirm it with various different primers. But it was too hot, and when I do it, I want to do it when I'm totally relaxed and be able to.
Couldn't you just figure it out by shooting off a handful of factory loaded ammo?
Well, that's too easy. I want to shoot. I've got different types of primers,
Oh,
so
Who
I want
has
to make sure.
factory loaded ammo anyway? My word.
Yeah.
That's why he had to sell his Glock so he could go buy more ammo.
I can find cases and cases of 9mm. I just I don't know. It seems like factory loaded ammo is more available than reloading stuff these days.
I'm stocked pretty good on reloading stuff. Of course, I started stocking during Obama 1.
Well, it's fairly available. It's just the price is up there. That's all.
I got a buddy that reloads like you guys do. You know, all his ammo is reloaded basically, and he said he can't find He's still having trouble finding primers, at least the primers that he wants. I don't know enough about it to know which ones he's seeking, you know, versus what's available. But yeah, he's still talking about powder and primers, not being able to find some of that stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely areas around where people are still struggling, but it seems to be coming back around pretty good. Prices haven't dropped a whole lot, but it's coming back around. Yeah, $11 a box of 100 is about the same out this way.
Mm-hmm.
But if you watched Daniel's video this past week, you would have saw that he did math. And I know it's hard to believe, Matt, but he did math.
You're muted, dude.
Stop it! Don't even.
You'll have to go back and watch it. He actually did math.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Daniel made videos.
It came down to, I mean, even with primers being 11 cents each, I was still loading 9mm for 22 cents a round. Where factory, the best price I could get was like $18 for a box of 50. That was like 33 cents a round. And if I cast my own, it's $6 for 50.
I just bought a case for 27 cents a round. 9mm, 27 cents a round. And I've been paying that last 2 or 3, 4 cases. So about
brass.
Yeah. I mean, the steel case is about the same. I mean, 2019, yeah, steel case was 10, 11, 12 cents a round, and brass was, 17 to 20 cents a round, depending on what you were getting. Now they're the same fucking price. So I mean, I don't buy steel case like I did. If the prices ever drop, yeah, I'll be buying 2 cases of steel a month, just like I did before. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm getting used to it, where I'm looking at 26, 27 cents a round as a deal. So that's the bad part.
Well, the dollar's not what it was either anymore. The value of it. So
Yeah, Michael, if you're finding a small pistol and all that for $60 or 1,000, pick them up, buddy. That's a good price.
Alan.
Yeah, well, sorry I had to jump off there for a second. My place is rather difficult to find for most new UPS drivers. And so when they call, I got to actually go walk them through what it was. And well, basically I had a fuel tank ring tool delivered. Would have been helpful because I already did the fuel pump today that I could have used this for. But hey, I have it now. So yeah, last week I was out. I was taking the brand new Trailhawk out with the girlfriend and the daughter to go see the girlfriend's mom in Tennessee. Had a great trip down there. It was perfectly fine. We went out to Safari the next day. And those of you that do follow me on Instagram may already know this. But I did kind of mess up in my post on on Instagram. So my brand new Trailhawk with less than a week and less than 1,000 miles that had never been washed before got a nice sized dent in the front fender from a Camel. Camel looked at that fancy little Trailhawk badging and said, "Hey, that looks like a good place to scratch my chest," and plowed his chest into my brand new Trailhawk. I almost shot a camel. It was
All right, hold on. So how did you almost shoot a camel? Come on, let's hear the story.
I was about ready to pull it out and take this camel down. Yeah, a camel put a big dent in my front fender on my brand new Jeep Trailhawk.
So when you explained this to the insurance agent, what kind of reaction did you get?
Well, I haven't quite done that yet. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to phrase, yeah, I need a dent fixed in my brand new vehicle due to a camel striking it.
You say
Not
you
quite
hit a camel.
But I didn't. The camel hit me. I was at a dead stop. And there wasn't anything that could be done about it. I mean, I had other camels all the way around. And I absolutely hate camels to begin with, but this camel walked up and just decided he was going to plant his chest into the side front fender and just try to like walk through the Jeep. I don't know.
Okay.
So if you don't like camels anyway, why the heck were you stopped?
Well, kind of didn't have a choice. It was a trail of people out in Safari, and we had all kinds of llamas and camels and ostriches and all kinds of numerous animals around us. It couldn't even like turn away from it and hit the throttle because there was all these other animals lined up on the opposite side of the vehicle.
So you
Although,
call up State Farm and be like, "You'll never guess what happened. I'm in Tennessee and there's this camel."
They're going to ask you, so was this camel out along the highway, the road, or was you at a wildlife animal park?
oh, I was out on safari. Yeah, I don't even know how I'm gonna tell an insurance company about this. Um, it, Unfortunately, no, I did not catch it on dash cam. I didn't actually have the dash cam hooked up in it yet. It's that new. I just hadn't even hooked up the dash cam yet.
Keep it simple. Don't lie to them. Just tell them you hit an animal and shut up. Okay? Because you might run into some problems if you tell them you was at a wild animal park. Because that might be sucks to be you. Just say, "Hey, I hit an animal," and shut up.
And I'm sure the park probably had, waivers where they're not responsible and all the rest of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's 500 signs. The thing is I do blame myself for a number of reasons. One, I joked about it on the way up there when it was inquired on if we were going to be able to go on to safari. I'm like, the fuck you think I'm going to take my brand new Trailhawk out there around a bunch of animals? Blah, blah, blah. I joked about it, and everybody thought I was serious.
So you jinxed yourself.
I totally jinxed myself. But hey, it's a Jeep. Maybe it's supposed to be dented.
I mean, how big is the dent?
Well, it was actually rather sizable. I did do a little bit of paintless dent repair on it. So now you almost have to be looking for it in order to find it. So yeah, it basically, it was the size of a camel's chest. It was the whole fender in front of the driver's door just shoved in. And
I mean, honestly, if you've got it pretty much fixed, I wouldn't even worry about calling the insurance company.
yeah, I'm actually contemplating just not just accepting, what little bit of stuff there is there. Of course, when I bought it, I didn't get their dent and ding coverage, their aftermarket coverage that they sell with the vehicle. I'm like, I'll never use that.
If you have full coverage on your vehicle, along with comprehensive, it should be zero deductible. That's if it was a deer. I don't know about camels, but if it was a deer, you'd have no money out of your pocket.
Oh, it was a full-size camel. It was a full-size double hump camel.
I'm surprised, being a Jeep, I'm surprised it doesn't have more problems than just a dent, just from the camel leaning into it. I've had Jeeps. I'm not a fan of how well they're built.
Alan, I think he just called your Jeep a Glock.
No, like, I had a Jeep that I swear, if a camel would have rested its chest on the hood of my Jeep, the rear axle would have broke, or some crazy shit like that. Like, every Jeep I've ever had, and everybody that I have that's ever had a Jeep, they've just been plagued with problems.
Oh, the only other Jeep I've ever owned was a 92 Jeep Cherokee that I heavily modified. But every time I modify something, it would either cause me to have to modify something else or it would cause a weak point somewhere else. And so I'd have to do something else to it. Um, yeah, so it was like a never ending project to really beef the thing up. And just empty every pocket is the proper acronym for Jeep.
It seems to me that back when AMC was building Jeeps, they were a lot better. And kind of
The old-
Dodge bought them out because that was the only. AMC made pretty good vehicles. They just weren't the prettiest to look at. So Dodge bought AMC just to get the Jeeps. And then when when Mercedes came in and bought some of Dodge, well, the main thing they wanted was that Jeep line as well.
It's kind of like when 511 became a fashion industry instead of, actual gear you can use.
It's kind of like when Smith and Wesson had to put the Hitlery hole on the side of the frame.
It's a pretty bad hole to have.
I wouldn't know, Scotsman. Thanks for sharing.
What was the earlier one and which one was the later one? The CJ5 or CJ7?
Oh, CJ5s were the earlier ones.
Yeah,
Okay,
7 was
so-
before the Wrangler.
I had a roommate. I think she had the CJ7. That thing was a tank. But that was
The
before
really-
it became a Dodge product.
The really cool ones were the Willis, the actual Army Jeeps.
I know Jamie remembers when it is old, your comic books and stuff, they had the advertisements in it. You could buy a Willis, an old Army surplus Willis Jeep that was still in the crate for a couple $100.
Yeah, like $250.
So
They
now
actually-
I'm on the hunt for. Now I'm actually on the hunt for a lockable storage case that's got relatively easy access when I want to get to it, but that can't be just taken out of the vehicle or broke into all that easy. That way I can carry whatever tools that I might need in any given situation, to be able to fit in just the right place on this thing.
Mark, why do you remember Daisy Duke had a Jeep? We'd all forgot about that. And Outcast is right. All auto brands have gone downhill.
The metal's so thin now, it's pathetic on all of them.
I think Al was telling you should have bought a Toyota.
Yes, matter of fact, have had some cornbread last night, but not today.
Didn't he start this whole cornbread thing on Friday on another chat when somebody wasn't around? Was that Hasbro? Yeah, Jamie, your chat last Friday turned into the bacon cornbread. Your mama makes instant grits chat.
It might well have. I missed it.
Hopefully, I won't have to miss again until like February, January. You know, this kind of stuff happens when you trust your friends to do stuff.
So it's supposed
Right,
to be
Scott.
reloading chat turned into a food chat.
Southern food, Southern cooking, and everything's cooked in bacon grease, even the cornbread in a frying pan.
Well, yeah, you cook everything in bacon grease. Why wouldn't
Oh,
you?
wait a minute, I corrected. A skillet.
Mark's taking offense. Who was on the panel? Well, Pollard, there's worse things, buddy. If you're talking about cornbread, there's a lot worse stuff you could be talking about that we're facing in a day-to-day world.
Oh,
Cast iron's the way to go for sure.
that's the last thing I got to train my wife on is just to get her to totally buy in 100% to the cast iron.
Oh, Fuzz
Well.
is telling it for real. Listen at that.
No,
Daniel's-
Annalise started getting blamed for it, but the real culprit just like, no, that was me. Sorry, it was not me. It was this person that tried to start it up already. I'm pretty sure.
Are you sure, CB? Because that's pretty old, man.
It was just called iron or bronze back then.
I love cast iron. There's a place up, well, y'all have heard of Lodge, but that's just on the other side of Chattanooga, which is it's probably an hour and a half from here. And it's called South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. And you can go up there and they have their seconds for like half price. And you can load up the back of your vehicle dirt cheap. And Alan, your Jeep will be riding like a lowrider going down the road. Cast iron Dutch ovens are a must. They just are.
Jamie, are you such a fan of cast iron because it takes you back to your 20s when they invented it, or?
I guess that's it, man. No, seriously, back in my days, the latest and greatest was Teflon.
I thought he was going to say the wheel.
Well, that too. We were all thinking, well, if Teflon don't stick, food won't stick to Teflon. Nothing will stick to Teflon. How in the world do you get it to stick to the skillet? Interesting you should bring that up, Michael. I've been working on that this afternoon. We have a pledge for a $500 check in the mail from Curtis. And there is another check that's in my in our post office box that I have not retrieved as of yet. So I have no idea what that is. But not including the pledge check because it's not here. We're sitting at $4,640.
Nice. So by the end of this week, we'll easily be over $5,000. That's awesome.
So if you guys want a chance to win some really cool prizes, we got 4 guns and Willie's 450, Dillon 450 Progressive Press that's up for prizes in the drawing. So, and we've got like 21 prizes, and we've got like 44 people entered. So, I mean, the odds of winning are pretty much in your favor, winning something.
Yeah,
But
that's awesome.
but
That's good to hear, man.
yeah, man, I appreciate the help, Scotsman. Y'all don't know what it's like to have to kick off something like this. I mean, it's bad. It's a lot of work. I ain't gonna lie about that. But you right before you take something like this live, you get really antsy about what if people reject what we're trying to do? What if people just don't make any donations? And Scotsman's talked me off the ledge a couple of times already while all this is going on. It's
It's a big up. It's a big ontake when you do something like this, man. I mean, I never knew the first time that I got into it what I was getting into, and it's a lot, man. It really can. It really can be stressful, and there's a lot to it.
It is. I don't plan on doing it again. I mean, if we need to, we'll do what we need to do. We always do. And you guys have just been so supportive, and the amount of money that you donated for the family, the money and the prizes that's been donated for prizes, that it's been overwhelming. And none of these prizes are junk. These are all things that you would desire to have. Some more than others. More of them. Some of them are more reloading type gear. Others are not. But some of it is stuff that any red-blooded American ought to love. And if you don't, we probably ought to disown it. For example, and that is from Big Al. That's going to be one of our prizes. Michael Hartneck's out there. Um, he donated $5 silver, American $silver. So those are so cool. Look at that. That's just awesome. It's 1 ounce. Each one's 1 ounce. Ghost Rider, if you want to, you can give a couple of ways you can make a donation through. You can mail a check to GSC, Georgia Shooting Connection, Post Office Box 415, Silver Creek, Georgia 30173. Or you can Zelle my phone number or Cash App. My phone number for that is 706-331-0417. 706-331-0417. And we got to have our donations in. If you want a chance to win, you need to get them in by Wednesday at midnight.
Not mailed, but to you.
If it's postmarked before midnight on Wednesday, we'll count it. But starting Thursday, we'll have to get ready for the drawings and the giveaways because that's coming Friday night.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to do. So
Yeah, question out there for you, Daniel. How many groundhogs this year?
Oh, I was about to type that in. As soon as he said it, I looked out the barn. There's one down there. I only shot about 3 or 4. I just didn't go around blasting groundhogs too much this year. It's been a slow year for me. I went through that whole LMT scare where I thought I ruined that gun and bought the other one, and then I ended up having to buy another Shadow too. Um, and then it just started wrapping up into projects here in the house. So, and then it got the whole shooting war between me and New York, not Outcast, but that other guy in New York.
Did you go watch his latest video? That other one that I told you to go watch?
Was that the one where he had the some kind of your IQ thing?
Yeah.
I watched it. Yeah, I watched it. Why, Scotsman? Are you going to do it?
No, I thought it'd be a good one for you to,
Why do I got to carry the load?
show,
I mean,
show your
here.
IQ is better than his.
I think you should help carry the load there. Everyone should just look it up and go do it. I would have to get the form to actually read the directions to get the instructions on what they want. I'd just leave all my steel up there and shoot them all at 10 yards instead of just one.
Supposedly, I'm an instigator, so I might as well
Yeah.
instigate.
Yeah, I knew he was trying to instigate it there. I'm getting ready for deer hunting right now. I checked my 4570. I got to go check the Wise 4570. And then just reload all my 4570 stuff up to get ready to do some blasting. Get my crossbow, shoot it out to 100 yards, and just have that and try to get everything as close as I can to me, especially when the rut comes.
Right.
But this year I'll probably be hunting out of my four-wheeler. The way things timing out.
Yeah. So we were hunting on the porch.
If I got a chance to get a big buck, I want to go sit where the big buck's at. Even though I could hunt from the porch, but I don't see the big bucks coming out until at least around muzzleloader time, sometime in January when it really starts getting cold.
That's a pretty nice four-wheeler, so it's not going to be too bad.
Yeah, we do have that hoist, so we can just crank them right up there and one-handed and swing it right into the back end.
I put the Cash App logo. Gene says you can put my phone number in there and it goes right to it. But it's basically JH586 GSE for Georgia Shooting Connection. So Dave's pledged $200 more. We may get up to $5,500 before this thing is over with, and that would be absolutely awesome. And as the money is coming in, I'm sending it to Willie's family. So we've already sent, I think, $1,500 to her. You got to let everything clear. You can't just can't get it in, turn around, and blow it out.
Well, Jamie, did you see what Bald just said? He might talk smack on the shooting range, but he does have a good heart.
I've always known that about that, Val. Okay, hold on. I'll type it in, Michael.
Yeah, Bald's a good dude at the end of the day.
It's just the rest of the day that he's not.
Yeah, hunting camels with a vehicle's gonna get you in trouble.
I've come to find that it's ill advised.
Yeah, you might want to use a bigger vehicle. Something a little reinforcement.
All right, and there's the address for the checks if you want to mail a check. So, what rifle, Daniel, are you planning on hunting with this season?
Well, Henry 4570 case, the case colored with the side gate. That's the one I want to be using.
Okay.
Shot a doe with it last year. I shot it and it dropped straight down to the ground. Of course, it was only maybe about 25 yards away.
There's Lever Guns 50. Y'all got to get over to his channel. He's got the coolest rifle ever. And yeah, it's a single shot. So what? It's the Sharps 50-140. Shiloh's Sharps.
That's right, Fuzz. He was trying to save money.
Yeah, never mind the fact that 10-cent primer could have saved him about $3,500 worth of damage to his vehicle. At that point, it becomes an investment, right, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with a camel carcass, but I didn't really want to be paying as much as it would cost me. I don't necessarily need a camel head stuffed on my wall, but if there was ever one that I'd want, it would be that camel. Many years ago, I learned that I really dislike camels, but that one,
You're not gonna get over that hump, are you?
I think the best use for a camel carcass would be for coyote bait. You kill coyotes off of it.
Yeah, skin it and tan the hide. You can make a vest out of it. You can probably make a whole suit and a bunch of extra stuff with it.
You can't get the fleas out of that mess, Daniel.
When they go through the process,
We're degenerating.
At
God.
an astonishing rate.
Hey,
Is
did
that-
y'all
is
hear
that what
we're up to like $4,600 on Willie Bullet?
so in thinking of Willie with that whole camel hide thing, do you think we could we sprinkle some glitter on that too, in memory of Willie?
Glitter Bob.
Yeah.
Oh, me. Y'all got my giggle box turned over now. I'm not worth shooting.
Jamie, get your mind out of the gutter, brother.
My mind wasn't in the gutter. It was thrown into the gutter and then stomped on.
Oh.
RT thesis. I don't know any of these guys.
yeah, actually, New York Outcast, it wasn't the camel exhibit. It was the bison exhibit that I wasn't able to enter this time.
Is that because you threatened
So
the camel? They wouldn't let you in any further?
Things went so horribly wrong for you that you were at the bison exhibit but got attacked by a camel.
No
Oh man, I
doubt.
wish there was video.
Yeah. Who would have thunk that, you know, you would be attacked by a camel on a bison exhibit? But hi, have you met me?
Who knew that bison and camel lived in the same region?
Yeah, they actually had them roaming in the same area together. I wouldn't think that one would get along with the other at all, but who knew? Who knew? During the pre-chat, there was a little bit of talk of suppressors. Um, who wants to pony up and talk about the point of a trust when you buy a suppressor?
I like how you rotated away from your problems into suppressors. Like that was
I learned in
seamless.
psychology. Redirect.
I think what he's saying is he might have got away with killing that camel if he had a suppressor.
There you go.
I got a feeling that camel's got an X on its back somewhere.
I could see a T-shirt with that on it now.
So y'all may see in the news where camel dies from drone attack.
If you all go visit the same place that Alan went to and you see his face on the wall, don't panic.
Or if you see a camel with Jeeps with a line through them stamped on a camel somewhere in the park, stay away from that guy.
Well, one thing that was cool about this place to an extent, the very first guy that you see that's directing traffic, he's got a pistol strapped to his side. A lot of the staff in this facility was open carrying, and I suspect it's more for unruly animal than anything else. But it was good to see. It was good to see a business where the majority of the staff was walking around open armed. It was very welcoming.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. I like that. So you were talking about suppressors, and we have someone who's looking to get one. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I thought you were talking to somebody that had like a trust and was going to talk about, suppressors, not me possibly getting one.
Well, what is the point of a trust when you purchase a suppressor?
I don't know. I didn't intend on getting a trust.
Are you going to be buried with your suppressor?
No, I just don't care about the ATF laws. But the only way I can get one is going through the process. I don't care what happens to it after I'm dead. If my sons are anything like me, they'll take it, they'll use it, and they'll say fuck the federal government.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
for those that don't know, the reason why a trust is put out there whenever if you buy a suppressor is for when you die. Well, what's going to happen to this thing when you die? At that point, I think you have bigger problems than what's going to happen with your suppressor.
I mean, I don't know. The week before I die, I'll sign something saying I destroyed it. What are they going to do? Arrest me for lying?
They're going to have to exhume you first.
I'm sure there's a lot of ATF agents in hell. They'll be not saying that you're going to hell, but just saying.
Oh no, you had it right. No, I just I'm thinking about getting one. I hadn't really got into trusts and things like that, and I really don't care. I mean, if I had the machinery if I had the lathe and the machinery and the Haas mill to build my own, I would build my own, and just I don't care. But the only way to acquire one right now is either through the proper channels or the illegitimate legal channels, or to buy a solvent trap, which you pretty much are guaranteed a visit after that anyway. So I figure I'd just go through the process this time. And
Yeah, I have seen a few videos here the past couple of weeks where there's been more and more visits to people who've been buying solvent traps.
Mr. Guns and Gear had a video out recently. It wasn't about the solvent trap. What was it? The ATF is showing up without a warrant.
that was solvent trap.
There was
I just watched it today.
There was something before that, right before that one came out, where they showed up for something else on a guy who was
I don't
trying
know
to
about-
intimidate him.
If it's the one that I'm thinking of, it's a mostly audio because the video is blurry. Is that the one you're thinking of? And the guy says, "Do you have a warrant?" And the ATF guy's like, "No," and kind of gave him a bunch of attitude and said, "We'll be seeing you again." Basically threatening the guy. Yeah, that was all over a solvent trap.
It's getting. They keep pushing. They keep pushing.
Well, and they're just trying to get information. They're going to keep on doing it and keep on showing up places. And biggest thing is keep your fucking mouth shut.
Yeah, he never talked to law enforcement, period. Traffic stop, how fast were you going? I mean, just don't say nothing to none of them. Oh, Razor, I mean the solvent traps prior to being Form 1. Or you can't even do that anymore, but just solvent traps, the kits, I should say. They're like, I think, a couple $100. And or at least you used to be able to Form 1 them. But, yeah. But maybe I'm wrong, but aren't most of those solvent traps aluminum?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. And you do Form 1 them still, yeah.
Yeah, they're not as well made.
$30. How
Huh?
good can that? $30. How good can that be? I mean,
Well, no, I thought I saw them for a couple $100.
They're a couple $100, but at the end, at the way suppressors are going these days, and some of the prices are getting lower and lower. You can get into the game pretty cheap. I mean, I say cheap, but you can get into the game for well under $1,000 and have a decent suppressor.
Yeah, so I was thinking something, a 5.56 dedicated dedicated suppressor from either Yankee Hill or Whip Machine. Whip Machine obviously being the least expensive, but Yankee Hill I think being the best combination of price and quality. And if anybody out there has experience with either of those, that would be greatly appreciated if you say what that is. And looks like I haven't been doing my job at the border.
Oh,
yeah,
snake bite.
you slipped up. Someone slipped in here.
Yeah.
What's
Snake
up, Adam
doctor.
Bean?
Hi. I just wanted
Hey.
to bring equal opportunity to this chat. What's going on, guys?
Not much. How you been, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm actually in Nellis Air Force Base. I'm over here spending time with my grandson, man.
Far
So
out.
you guys see me. Yeah, you guys see me in a different area. Yeah. Yeah, so we just got here, but everybody's kind of settled in, so I just wanted to say what's up. How's everybody doing?
Tell us about this young man.
Yeah, he's a cute little baby, man. His name is Benjamin. He was 6 pounds, 6 ounces, 20 inches long. He was actually born in the hospital they have here. I didn't know they had a hospital in Nellis Air Force Base, so it was pretty cool. He's actually had the whole floor to himself. Nobody else was being born, so he's a cute little bugger.
That's awesome,
He,
man.
yeah, he's super cute, man. He's healthy, which is the most important thing. Pretty chill baby too. So, and what's crazy is that he was born one day before my birthday. So now I get to share a birthday with my grandson. It's kind of cool.
Absolutely. Very nice.
Now,
Yeah.
can I give you some
nice.
advice while you're at Nellis? I
Huh?
got a lot of debts there.
You
Las
did a lot of
Vegas,
debts and
Nellis, yes. I was expeditionary because the Air Force got rid of one of their assets they didn't have a replacement for.
uh-huh.
Yeah. But Las Vegas Hilton for craps, the Stratosphere for single deck blackjack.
No, I'm not staying in the strip, bro. Hell no.
No, you don't
That's
stay.
too
You
much
just go there.
temptation there. No, just go to the lodging in Nellis. That's good. Hell with that crap. It's too much temptation there, buddy.
Entertainment.
So it's Pawpaw Battle Bean now, huh?
Yeah, it's Papa about it. Well, I've been to Papa for a while now, man. Because I already had a granddaughter, but this is the first time we ever had a grandson, so it was definitely a blessing in the sky, man. We haven't had a boy in the family in quite some time. So like I had 3 girls, my brother had 3 girls, uh, my nieces. I mean, my aunt, my sister-in-law had all girls. Like it's just crazy. So just glad we got a boy in the family.
Good deal. So I want to address Fuzzy Fork's comment out there if I can. Marjorie Taylor Greene is my congresswoman. I think y'all know that. And, I've said it on here before. So what they did to her was somebody called and told the police that there had been a shooting at her home. And they go in there expecting the worst, obviously. And she wasn't even there. So catastrophe averted. Dang, Daniel, that's brutal.
Boy, it just tongue tied Mario on that one.
Yeah, no, we were all boys, bro. Me, it's me and my brother, but we had no girls.
It's like down in Australia. They mostly have girls down there because of the heat and everything. The guys are so outnumbered.
Oh yeah, they that's why they love American men over there because like American men are more gentlemen than Australian men are. So yeah, it's
Well,
crazy.
well, if you live in Australia and you got like 6 or 7 women for every one guy, of course they're going to be jerks. They can get away with it. So it's all quiet now.
Yeah.
Those are
Appreciate
some
you, Rich. Take it easy, man.
those are some tall ceilings where he's at, huh?
I must be talking to the family.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry. You said something?
Jamie
It
was
was a
saying
high
that we're
ceiling.
tall ceilings.
Oh yeah, because my wife walked in. She was like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm talking to my peoples, man. You know, I gotta make appearances too. You know."
All right, those eyebrows are
But
gonna stay on
anyways,
YouTube somewhere.
mm-hmm. Don't be hating. Hey, don't
So
be
how
hating.
that
You don't
con-
have that gift, okay? You do not have that gift. It's okay. Don't hate.
Weren't you headed
Appreciate
to
it.
some kind of conference or something a little while back?
Yeah, I did that. It was a leadership conference for all the managers, like new managers with United Rentals. So yeah, I did that. It was cool. Got to meet some good people, man, and got to network, which is the most important thing. So no, it was great. I enjoyed it, and it was something new. I don't know, man. I was not really impressed with North. I wouldn't say North Carolina in the whole, but just maybe the area where I was at because the hospitality sucked. Like I went to a couple of restaurants there, and man, I don't know. I just, I don't know. It was just different. I guess the services were done different, and yeah, I don't know. I just was not really impressed. And they have horrible Mexican food over there. I don't know what the fuck they call that shit over there. They got us all into a after the conference. They all ended up going to like a Mexican restaurant for like our big dinner, whatever the fuck it is, right? Man, we went in there, man, and I'm halfway through my meal, and I'm like, everybody's like, "Oh my god, this is so good!" Like, shit, I could cook better than this. Like, this shit sucks. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about, but it was cool. I just got to get out of the atmosphere that I was in and try something new. But North Carolina is beautiful, man. Very beautiful place. Charlotte's a very beautiful town. And I wanted to go check out a AAA team called the Charlotte Knights over there. But unfortunately, that night that we were going, they had a big storm, so they ended up doing they rained it out because of the thunderstorms and stuff like that. So it was kind of crazy. But no, man, I had a good time. It was really good, something different. So yeah, we'll see what comes next. Hey, RTT, so how you doing catching my peoples, man? Any luck?
Actually, we're going to get back into it in about a month. We've been doing mostly training for the last 3 months, 3 4 months. The traffic is so much busier in the from about end of September through May, April. You know the cooler days, especially cooler nights. Um, that we spend the summers honing skills and breaking in new people and stuff like that, and then spend those cold months almost strictly in the trafficking areas. So I don't really have much to say about that right
Oh,
now.
well, yeah. Well, right now it's ridiculously hot over there, man. I'm over here in Vegas, man, and next week they're gonna be like in 111. I'm like, hell no, man. That's crazy shit right there. I can just imagine how it is in Arizona.
It's actually Arizona's generally, or at least this area, Arizona is generally a little cooler than Vegas. So it's supposed to be like 101 to 105 this week.
Hmm. Interesting.
I think Vegas is 111 just because of Vegas, because of the sheer mileage of pavement that is radiating heat
So
everywhere.
yeah, gotcha. No, so was it Tim that asked the question about what I would
Yeah,
do if my
Tim asked.
grandson would join the army? I mean, like, if you're gonna join the army, you better be an officer, and your ass better go to West Point because that's what I want. But I definitely will want my grandkid to do whatever he wants to do. Um, I mean, his dad's in the Air Force, so I mean, he can go that route too. He can go the Air Force Academy. But I definitely would like for my grandson to be an officer, not enlisted. It's just like anything else. You always want your next generation to do better than yours, kind of thing. So if that's something that he would want to do, then I support it. But I can I already know my daughter would be really against it. But you know, he's gonna be his own man, and he can decide what he wants to do.
Yeah, Daniel, you got crickets going on over there.
Yeah,
I
man.
I can rant about that. My daughter joined the army. She graduated boot camps a number of months ago. She's going through her school right now. She knew where she was going to get stationed from day one. But I mean, she's got
Where's she
1
got
month
stationed
left.
at?
Fairbanks, Alaska.
Fort
She's going
Wainwright.
up.
Fuck that place.
Well, hey, they stood up that new Ranger unit. They re-established a Ranger unit up
You
there.
mean the 11th Airborne?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's not a
So
Ranger unit. That's an airborne unit.
no, there's a Ranger unit that they're reestablishing to test cold weather gear
Oh,
and they're going to be training.
I think it's part of the second battalion. But yeah.
So she'll be support on that. But I mean, she's going
Well,
through her school, and
good for her though.
they're still. I just can't understand why you've already spent a couple months in school and you still can't get off base, and you're not allowed to buy a coffee at any kind of Starbucks on base or something. You're not allowed to go to the main exchange. Uh, this liberal training that they're doing on everybody, it's not the military I was in. I'll tell you right now, not
Okay,
the
so
Well,
military at all.
yeah,
so
it's
so
not, dude.
so Tim was saying that his son wants to join and was wondering what he should say. So
Well, the thing that I would tell your son is if he's thinking about joining the military is one, look at all the branches. Look at what they offer you. Look at what you want to do as far as your military career goes. But understand that everything that you want to do is based on that ASVAB test that you got to take. The higher you score, the more opportunities you have to do what you want to do as far as your career goes. If you score low, then obviously you're going to get the bottom of the barrel jobs that you may not want, or stuff like that. Like my son-in-law, he actually thought about joining the army. I was like, hell no, you're not joining the army. But he's very smart. Like, he's very computer driven, stuff like that. Like, he knows his stuff, right? So unfortunately, he didn't get the IT job that he wanted in the Air Force, but he got something similar. and basically he works on helicopters. He works on the helicopters that the PJs use. So these are very high tech, advanced helicopters. For all you guys that don't know what a PJ is, it's a parajumper. Basically, they are the Air Force Special Forces unit, and these are the guys that, if for some reason, God forbid, one of us gets a medevac or needs a medevac, we're like, in danger or whatever, these are the guys that will go in. These are highly technical, super medical badasses.
Oh, they're no
That
joke.
any Yeah, no joke. The PJs are no joke. They do some serious rescue, man. They don't care. They do even rescues on civilians, man. So they are legitly badass unit. And he got into it, and he works on the something in the electronic system of a Black Hawk helicopter. So it just depends on what you want to do. But he pretty much, like, when he took his test, he was off the charts and everything, because he's a super smart kid. And he was able to choose what he wanted to do. So if your son already knows what they want to do, um, then it makes it so much easier. But if they're not, um, you know, uh, I have no problem. You want to get my number from Scotsman? Hit me up, Tim, and then I'd love to talk to your kid if that's what they want to do. Or it's just I would like to see more kids join the military, but we also need the right type of kids to go and join the military. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that'd be great.
And this administration, the government that's in charge right now, is pushing so much bull in the military that is not even related to war fighting. They're doing a big experiment with the military with the woke training. I mean, my daughter had an 84 ASVAB. She took 2 years of engineering, and then she went to college. So this stuff, these games that they're playing in their technical school, no.
I talked
That's
my oldest son out of going to the army. I told him, I said, "You want to do something for this country right now? Join Border Patrol. Yeah, you'll have to move likely out of Ohio. Not a whole lot of Border Patrol jobs in Ohio, but said, you want to do something for
Bless you,
this
sir.
country right now? Join Border Patrol or ICE."
Or customs, because they are also
Yeah,
very vital to home security. So
yeah.
yeah. Also, Razor talked about the 18X program. That's a really great program. So you should look into that as well. I'm not really very familiar with that program because I'm just never special forces, but I'm sure Mr. Razor will be glad to give you some information on that.
See, I've got a young friend who just left the army last January. Ranger, sniper, got a sniper tab and stuff, and he wouldn't do the COVID shot, so he ended up getting an honorable discharge in the end. But right now he's in South Africa contracting for the the wildlife game department, the wardens there. So there's opportunities once if you
There,
go all out.
there's
So
there's
what
all
you're saying
opportunity.
is he's over there looking over camels. He sees a lot of camels
Elephants.
out there.
I don't know how many they got in South Africa, but he's down there supporting the game wardens down there on Overwatch and making six figures for 6 months' work.
There was a question earlier, Ballerbean, of how do you feel about camels and have you shot
I
a
hate
camel?
I hate fucking camels. They stink. They fucking bite at you. They'll fucking slobber all over you. They are the most stubborn pieces of shit ever. Yeah, I don't like camels,
They're
and I'm
running too
sure
deep.
I'm sure Razor would tell you the same shit because I hate fucking camels. They fucking stink. They're horrible fucking pieces of shit. Sorry, just how I feel. Anyway, hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no, I think that covers it. Alan, what do you think?
100% wholeheartedly agree. I learned many, many years ago. I hate the damn disgusting ant things, and I hate them even more now. I just
Mario, if you didn't hear earlier, a camel tried to hump his Jeep.
His brand new Jeep.
Wait a minute. A camel in Iowa?
No,
How
in
is that
Tennessee.
fucking- Oh, you were in Tennessee. Oh, that makes it better. Oh. What the fuck, dude? Are you serious?
I had a camel in Tennessee run into my brand new Jeep Trailhawk.
Well, he christened it.
In the Bison area.
Hey, did he left his schlong print in the back of your car?
He ground off all the guck that was all over his chest on that fancy trail rated badge on the front fender and caved in the front fender. Piece
Caved
of
in the
shit
front
fucking
fender.
camel.
Yeah, he got a full frontal.
Oh my god, that's fucking dude. That's worse than San Diego freaking petting zoo over there. Was that San Diego zoo that you can drive in with your car? I'm like, fuck that. I'm not driving my Lexus to that shit. Hell, fuck no. Hell no. Nope. But yeah, man. What were you doing? First of all, explain to me how this even happened.
It was a safari drive-through park, and yeah, less than a week old and less than 1,000 miles on this brand new Jeep Trailhawk.
And of course, they have a waiver that says that they are not responsible for any damage to your vehicle, correct? Yeah,
there's like 500 signs before you drive up in that bitch.
See, that's the reason why you take a rental car, bro. You pay that $200 extra for it, and then you just you take that and you bring it back in and say, hey, got some damage, but you know what? Here's my insurance, my $200 extra I paid for it, and you would have been done with that. Yeah, if I go to San Diego and I have to go to that stupid zoo, that driving zoo, I will not take my vehicle. Hell no. I'll get a rental car. But
we
man,
were gonna take the grandmother's car, and I was like, there's nothing really gonna happen. I totally jinxed myself on the whole situation.
Yeah, you sure did. Now you got a big old camel schlong print on your freaking car. Lovely. I can just, how do you explain that to the insurance company? Sir, why is there a schlong print on your fucking vehicle?
We've already had this conversation, Marty.
I could just see the USAA rep coming to me like, I don't know if we can cover that. Dude, that's fucking hilarious. Oh my god. Well, that was an eventful week for you in Tennessee.
Certainly was.
I could just imagine you driving afterwards on the highway. People are like, what's wrong with this car?
And why does it smell like that?
Oh my god. Why is this thing? That's like little slobber shit coming out of that thing. Oh my god, dude. That's just hilarious. I'm sorry.
Oh, fucking camels are nasty.
So how much is it going to cost you for the insurance? Like $1,000 deductible? What you got on the deductible?
No, I put fat insurance on it. So I mean, really, if I do end up pushing a claim onto it, it's going to be $100 out of my pocket. But I may not. It's a Jeep. I mean, it's bound to get dented.
Alan, you're monetized, aren't you? Make arrangements with the insurance agent that you want a video you explaining all this to your agent.
I can just imagine that.
So what are these little hoof marks all over the hood?
Yeah. What do you got little fuzzies all over and dangling on the thing?
Is that a camel toe print on your fender?
My God.
What is that?
What is Joe Camel's print here for? What is up with that? My God. Well, I'm
So
glad
bad.
you.
So bad.
Yeah, you. Well, I'm glad. This is why we have you, though, man. You do get to entertain us. So God bless you for that, sir. God bless you for that. But yeah, that's. Oh man, I'm sorry, brothers. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
next time your Jeep won't get damaged if you just let the darn thing mount you instead.
Uh huh. Yeah.
No, fuck all that shit. Next time I'm gonna shoot the motherfucker if it gets too close.
Now, next time when
Um.
you go into the gate, tip the guy $5 so he doesn't put the camel
But
and heat spray
no.
on your Jeep.
By the way, camels are pretty expensive fucking animals. I just want you to know that because you trying to trade for one of the motherfuckers with the sheiks or sheiks, whatever the fuck you want to call those motherfuckers in Iraq, they want an arm and a leg for them fucking things. They're really expensive fucking animals. I don't know why they value them so much, but they do. So I don't know. You might need to take a serious loan for that sucker, buddy.
So, just a quick Google search between $10,000 to $17,000 for a camel.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're fucking expensive, dude. Yeah, they're really expensive. I think the reason why they, I mean, they are good working animals, but I think the other main reason why they like them so much is the fact that they live a long time. I think they live close to like 10, 15 years, maybe 20 years. They live a long time. That's pretty rare for a huge animal like that. Man, people are coming out with fucking camel farms. Lakeview says there's one in Mesquite, Nevada. Like, dude, how would you know that, dude? Seriously, how would you know that? I'm just curious now. Now you got my curiosity going there, Lakeview. Hey, so what kind of vehicle is that? The one that you just purchased? A Jeep? What?
A Jeep Cherokee
You
Trailhawk.
bought? You bought a Jeep Cherokee? What? What the fuck were you thinking buying that shit, dude?
Thank you.
Why would you buy a Chrysler vehicle? Those are like the most worthless piece of shit cars ever. Like, come on, Alan.
Well, I've owned a Cherokee before. Yeah, I
That does
heavily
not mean it's
modified it.
good.
I heavily modified it, and I really liked it. This was it checked all my boxes.
Is that what that was?
It
Or
sure
was
as
that
heck
the?
took the camel's box.
Hey, yeah, that camel love that. Hey, what color is it, by the way? I'm just curious.
Stingray Gray,
Ah, okay.
which actually was the first color that I shot down because I thought, oh, that's just primer with clear coat over the top of it. It's actually an interesting color.
I'm sure it was. Now that you have to repair it.
Or at least,
Camel obviously liked it.
right,
Yeah.
right. Come to find out, Stingray Gray attracts camels. Who would have
Wow.
thunk?
Who would have thunk? And how did you find out with that conclusion? How'd you come up with that conclusion?
What if the camel liked it, Battle Bean, and they're going to go tell the rest of them? Any of the other guys that go in there with a Jeep, oh man.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
So what do you drive, Battle Bean?
Oh, I drive a Lexus, bro. I'm a refined beaner. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I
You
drive
drive
a
a what?
ES3. It's a ES350. It's a sedan. It's nice. It's more gooder. But yeah, I like it. It's got some zip to it because it's got a 3.5. It's got that. That's one thing I do like about Toyota. Anything, especially when you get to where it's at the Lexus, those things got some pop, man. They just go. Like right now, I was just driving it from my house to here. Uh, runs great. Can't complain.
Well, where'd he go?
Oh, I'm right here.
So I had a 2005 Camry that I've been driving for
Dude, those
what,
are great cars, bro. Those are great
16,
cars.
17 years.
Yeah, they'll
Uh,
last you a long time.
yeah, well, mine gave up the ghost a couple of weekends ago.
How many miles that you had in that sucker?
Well, it was 17 years old and it only had 345,000 miles on it. I don't understand what happened.
Look, you got your money's worth out of that vehicle, okay? You got 300,000 miles.
No,
Wow.
345.
345. Wow, that's an amazing car right there.
And I'm debating on getting a new one or just rebuilding that one. I'm thinking about. I'm trying to decide if I want to rip into that motor and rebuild it, or just get me another motor. Uh, they sell motors for those things from
From Japan?
Japan,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
And,
I've
and
heard
actually,
from you
yeah,
guys.
those are, yeah, exactly. In Japan, I think your vehicle can only have like 20,000 or something like there's some very low, ridiculous amount of miles on it before you have to replace the engine on it. And yeah, they're great cars. I mean, those are great engines. Buddy of mine just rebuilt his Camry, and he got one of those engines from I forgot which website it was, but yeah, he loves it. He says it's a great engine. He has no issues with it. So that might be the best way to go, especially right now how expensive cars are, man. It's not worth
Right.
you, you know, not investing or purchasing a vehicle right now.
Well, the lowest price I've found, uh, I've found some for 18, but they're prevalently if they've got under 100,000 miles on them, they're running $3,000, $2,500 to $3,500 for just a motor. But that's still a lot cheaper than buying a new
No, that's
car,
way cheaper, way cheaper. No, absolutely.
especially
I,
when
I would,
you think about Val coming on here. Poor dude has to buy a truck for work, and he's looking at $80,000.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. But and God, man, 80,000. But he needs like a what, like F-350 kind of type of vehicle or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
He needs ton and a half or a 3 ton truck.
yeah. No, those are super pricey, super pricey. But I mean, they do last you a long time too, and you take care of them. So it's just
Especially
it's
the
just a give and take.
diesels.
The diesels, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Um, but I also think it's which kind of diesel, which type of brand, So I don't know. Everybody has their own preferences on diesel trucks. But yeah, no, man, 80,000 for a freaking truck. I'm like, wow, that's ridiculous.
Oh, the nicer ones are more than that, man. Do y'all know what the number one vehicle that millionaires drive in the United States of America?
What was the question again?
What is the number one vehicle millionaires in America drive?
No clue, man.
Probably Toyota Camry.
Ford F 150s.
Ford F-150. Well, they're great trucks.
Well,
I think that's the
that
only.
doesn't surprise me necessarily because, there's a lot of millionaire ranchers.
Yeah. But they won't be long if they don't start getting some rain, man. They're gonna be spending money on hay,
Yeah,
feed.
yeah. No, it's incredibly dry right now, man. Especially where I'm at. Where it's just crazy. I haven't seen it this bad this long, and it kind of concerns me because some of the lakes that we have local are just drying out to the point that they're not even letting boats in no more.
So how low is Swamp Mead right now?
Oh, Lake Mead. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not from this area. I'm talking about more in California, but I know that Lake Mead is probably. They're saying it's one of the lowest. That is second lowest recorded, but I don't know exactly what that is. I know we have a lake in by where I live. It's called Lake Isabella, and it has a dam to it. And it's getting to the point where they're not even running the turbines anymore on that because there's not enough water pressure, enough flow going through.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's
there's a few states that are seeing a lot of droughts right now.
Is it true what I've heard that California by 2035 is going to require all electric vehicles?
I
No
am
gas.
not gonna be living. I'm not gonna be living there by that time, bro. So I don't care. You
It's
know, I
it's
I
not
already made my stance.
it's not a ban on gas powered vehicles. It's going to be a ban on selling new vehicles that are gas powered.
See, the
So
thing about it
the state will
is
still be full of gas powered vehicles, but
yeah,
they want to have a ban on selling new vehicles by 2035 that aren't electric.
which is stupid because you stop and think about it. How? What about if you're like Val? Let's say you're a contractor and you need a diesel truck. Like, how stupid is that, man? Like, how are you gonna be able to do it? You have to go to
Well,
another state and buy it. Like,
the thing that's even more stupid about it too is they're going to drive away manufacturers. They're not going to want to be around it.
they're gonna drive away anybody that likes gas powered vehicles.
How about
That's all that is.
truckers? How about
Exactly. How
truckers? A
about
trucker
truckers?
company. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where you get
Exactly.
your winter food from.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, right?
But see, here's my thing. They got. I think the reason why they threw it out there because they want to see what the public's reaction is going to be, and the public's reaction has been really, really bad, very negative, and it just seems to me like there's certain people, tree huggers in San Francisco and the Bay Area that want this to happen, but if you really stop and think about the way, I mean, you guys got to admit, whether you guys like it or not, California is the fifth largest economy in the world, man. You're gonna cripple the fifth largest economy in the world because you don't want to sell a gas powered vehicle? It's stupid, man. That is just idiotic. It doesn't make any sense. My thing too is that whenever numbnuts Newsom leaves, whoever the governor is going to be, most likely they're going to look at it a different way. But like, you know what? This is not a good idea, and they can veto it. They can get rid of it. So I mean, in reality, it's just a bunch of show. The whole thing with Newsom is that he's trying to make himself look like he's like some sort of savior or something like that. He's been doing like all these commercials, sending them to Florida and all these other states, and making himself seem like he's some sort of god over here in California, and he's done all these great things, and try to put DeSantis down. I'm like, dude, that's like you're like picking on the wrong guy, dude. Like that's a governor who's done it right, and you have been one that's got a recall. You shouldn't be talking at all. You know.
California has a track record of making laws for the future to supposedly try to encourage industry to head that direction when the technology just isn't there yet. They're try to perceive the future and go, oh well, this is just so much better. Let's just make a law that says that we're going to eliminate the bad thing and make the good thing only the thing that you can have.
But the thing
Um,
about it, dude, is that their policies suck. You know what I'm saying? They're even driving away liberals out of their own state. That's the reason why Texas has such a fucking huge problem now. Arizona and all these other states, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, because all these guys are leaving because of all these damn policies that they're creating in that state that is driving people away. You just can't afford a lot of the things that they're asking us to do, you know? And in reality, it's going to get to a point that uh, there won't be nobody left but just a bunch of immigrants, and then that's it, you know. And it is what it is. I mean, that's what they want to go. I just think in reality they're just destroying, a great state that has a lot of great resources, and you know, and just
Yeah, once the computer
it's really
companies
sad.
decide to move, once the tech companies decide to move, and Hollywood decides to go to Florida, um, which Hollywood's already basically bailed on California. I mean, there's no movies getting made in California anymore. They're getting made in Georgia and Florida and Texas and all these other
Exactly,
states now.
exactly.
But once Hollywood and the tech companies bail out, that's the only reason. That's the only reason California. There's three reasons California has any income: tourism, tech, and Hollywood. That's
Uh-huh.
basically it. I mean, yeah, they have some things that they export products,
Uh,
but those are very small in
no,
comparison to those three things.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Agriculture's pretty big in
There's
the state.
there's a few tech companies that are looking to move. They've already announced they're getting ready to get out of there.
What and like I said,
yeah,
there's agriculture.
the agriculture in California might be the only thing that could save California financially in the long run. The
Hmm.
article that RTD just posted, yeah, they have like the largest debt of any state ever. Um,
Hmm.
but but the agricultural in California might be the only thing that can save it if Hollywood and tech moves out.
Well, my problem is this: they move out of there, but they take their liberal politics with them. They come in and they
That's
infiltrate
that's
places like
that's exactly what's
Florida,
happening,
Georgia,
and that's
Tennessee,
the yep,
Arizona. Yeah, that
yeah. But that's when I think a lot of a lot of you guys that live there should push back. Should be like, hey, you know what? There's a reason why you left this place because of the way you guys lived over there. You're not going to bring your nonsense over here, and just put it that way, man. Because in reality, if people don't stand up, they're going to continue doing the same damn thing, and it's going to get to a point where it's going to be expensive to live. It's not going to be affordable to live anywhere, you know, because what these liberals are doing, they're bringing a lot of gentrification into a lot of this stuff, you know, and it's
So y'all hear that, guys? So you get some liberals that move in next door from California, break out the banjos after midnight, and have a hoedown.
well, this
my
is my
thing.
concern, and this is what I see happening. Uh, we talked a little bit earlier about my representative, uh, Marjorie Taylor Greene, what they did to her. Uh, what we're seeing here is gas prices are starting to come down. We're starting to see ads on the TV about how the Democrats passed the what are they calling it? The inflation relief bill. And our prices in gas are down to 320, 312, 330, 339, right in there.
But it's because of the midterms, man.
That's
That's all
what
that
I'm
is.
getting at.
Oh,
That
my bad.
those ads are on the TV, and you wait and see. Gas will get down to just about where it was, not quite, but almost where it was when Trump was in office. And then 2 weeks after the midterm elections, right?
Yeah, everything's going to jump back up. You see,
Yeah,
it's not just gas. There's a lot of things that have kind of come down a little bit in price, and it's going to happen. It's not going to take long. 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks after
How
midterms, and everything's going to fly right back up.
how convenient that all of a sudden they want to give breaks on tax on freaking college tuition, student loans. How you know, and they want us to forget about what's going on in the border, which is a huge problem right now, guys.
yeah. It's
It
10
is
weeks before midterms.
exactly. Everybody wants to put the what's going on in the border to the side, but that's a huge issue right now that's affecting the national security of the country, and nobody's thinking about that crap. You know what I'm saying? Um, it, it's a it, it just saddens me, it really does, and it pisses me off, it really does.
That's what Walter said right there. That's the biggest mistake this country's ever made and can make. And you may or may not realize it, but gas prices are what fuels inflation because everything gets to your stores by truck. Diesel prices go up, everything's going up. Gas prices go up for American men and women to get back and forth to work. It's hurting the economy. It's hurting families where they live. And when it gets to that point, if you don't rise up and do something about it, I guess what you're doing is you're dooming us. And RTT says the average American is not very smart. So not that we're any better.
That's a major problem, man. We've seen this more and more each year. They're getting more and more bold about what they're doing, what their plan is, and all the rest of it. And they're literally throwing it out there, and people are so blindsided by all the other lies that they keep throwing out that they just go about their day and don't think about it.
Just because you'll go insane if you think about it. Go ahead, Matt. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I just Walter Davis said thank the teachers unions and Department of Education for everybody being a fucking idiot. No, that's true. I mean the uh, next to Social Security, the biggest failure in America or in America government departments is the Department of Education. I mean, you want to talk about something that's never ever from its inception been ran correctly. It's never been economical. It's never been run correctly, ever. It's never been a net positive for the country.
Let me say this about that. I work for a school system, and I believe that the federal Department of Education is a waste of everything that is pumped into it because of the fact that the Constitution says that the state and local governments are responsible for educating their children. What we see in education is a jump through the hoops and then dot the I's and cross the T's. Yeah, if you do this, and this, we'll give you this much money. All right, then they give you the money, and then you got to go back and make sure that their rules are being obeyed. They have the right to come in and audit what you did with that money. It ain't worth it, people. The federal, the United States Department of Education needs to be abolished. Period.
I mean, the
But
public
I,
schools.
I also go ahead, brother.
I was just gonna say, public schools basically pump out button pushers. They give you just enough information to be able to pay your bills, maybe if you didn't get a college loan and can't figure that shit out, but to pay your bills and to push a button in a factory. There's a lot of people that went beyond that just because they're smarter people than that. But as far as the education system is designed to get maximum maximum graduation rate for button pushers. That's it. That's it.
You
Obedient
know,
button pushers. That's all the Department of Education wants.
the other thing that I really don't like about we can talk about the Department of Education being a waste of time, and to a certain point, I agree. But I think to a certain point, I also don't like the way a lot of the local education systems are being run. Why the hell do you need five or six superintendents when the what you pay a superintendent will probably pay for three or four teachers? You know what I'm saying? What do you, if that's the case, then what do you need a principal for? It's just I just don't like this mismanagement that they have within the school district itself. You know, we always say, oh, we have a shortage of teachers, but what are you doing to really make it worth their while, make it worth their time? When they're getting paid meager, you know, uh, benefits and wages, and then all of a sudden you expect that to work. I have a friend of mine that did the Troops for Teachers thing, and he did it for about 2 years, and he got out, and he just got fed up with the way the education system is run within the own district, how they do things, and how everything that they do is criticized, but at the same time, they're not being given the resources that they need in order for them to be successful. When you, as a teacher, having to purchase school supplies for kids, that's wrong. I just don't agree how that's even possible. You know what I'm saying? I know that there's some school districts that probably don't provide a lot of the stuff, but it's shameful that we have teachers that are barely making enough, and they're still having to use some of their own money just to purchase stuff for their kids, and it's just sad.
I agree that somebody should get paid a fair wage for what they are producing. That's how I will put it. A fair wage for what they are producing, not what they could produce. So there was a big thing like Red for Ed a couple years ago. Arizona's got horrible schools. I'm glad I didn't have my kids here. I would have moved just because of the school system here. But all the teachers wanting big raises and all this other stuff, and I looked at the last decade of graduation rates, and they had either stayed stagnant or gone down. There was never a positive bump up. And I had like written to these people. It's like, I can't go into my job and say, I promise I'll do a better job if I get paid more. No employer will ever do that. No employer will ever give you more money based on the promise of, I promise I'll do better. So there's, again, the fruits of your labor. You get paid for what you produce. If you're not producing a high graduation rate and really smart kids, then there's no incentive to pay you more. I don't disagree that there's a lot of good teachers out there that are probably not getting paid what they should be getting paid because of a umbrella of payments, and that they're stuck in some sort of a whatever. But as a general rule, I mean, there's a lot of really shitty welders out there, and there's a lot of really good welders out there, but we get paid based on our production, not based off of what the next guy over does. So I would suggest these teachers try and get into private schools as far as getting employment through private schools, because
and that's what my kid did.
Yeah.
My daughter, that's what she is. She wasn't getting paid what she wanted to get paid. She moved to another state and worked in the private school system, and that's all she's been doing. And she's making a much better wage than a lot of these other teachers are. But it's I think my biggest thing is that I'm talking about the lack of resources too. Is like, how is it that you get all this money for supposedly facilities and creating a better culture for these kids, and it doesn't seem like it's there. So.
Oh, I agree. I mean, there's no reason a teacher should be buying paper for the classroom. The school should be supplying that, or the notebooks should be supplied by the students and the parents. If you got to have five notebooks for the year or whatever. The teacher shouldn't be providing those things, and that's unfair. I totally agree with that.
Okay, Fuzzy just made a comment there, but I had read something else about that in the last week about, I don't know if that's at the national level, or if that, I mean, if that's the teachers union thing or whatever, but they came out, if things are hard in a school, they got to lay off all the white teachers before anybody else.
That is a bunch of crap. And I'll be the first one to tell you that. What does the color have to do with that, man? Oh my God, it's just as bad as law enforcement. You know, they got to have a certain percentage of minorities, a certain percentage of women, and in most cases they can never meet those numbers because there's not enough applicants that meet that criteria. You know,
Well, that's why we have open borders and everything else, so that they can just let them flood on in, and the whites are going to be the minority before you know it.
I just don't agree with that. I and why are we picking on white people? That's bullshit. I need them alone.
It shouldn't be color based, period. It should be time in and how good you do your job.
White targets matter too. Battle beam.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yes, you guys are the ones that don't get shot at.
Oh, Scotsman, this video is going to get taken down because of disinformation.
That wouldn't surprise me. Alan, I figured out what happened to that one that got taken down a couple weeks ago. It got taken down for misinformation. I'm not sure what we said on there, but it got taken down for
Misinformation.
misinformation.
You cannot say misinformation on YouTube.
It probably had
we
something
are
to do
a-
with CZ's being better than Glock.
Oh,
Who sold a Glock? Oh, yeah.
I've sold lots of guns.
See, that's not
Yeah, are we coming up on
misinformation.
that
That's
time?
just
Oh.
straight truth.
And one of the folks in the side chat, he named what video that was that I watched, and it was the ATF following up on a guy that purchased guns because they just wanted to see that he still had them in his possession. They were doing the same. Then the next one that came out was where they were doing it to people with the
Solvent trap.
cleaner thing, the solvent trap stuff.
That's the one I saw was the solvent trap one.
They're weaponizing the ATF. They weaponize the FBI. They're politicizing schools, and
putting
they're
a bunch
paying off everybody's student loans. So everybody that paid their own student loans off or never took one out is coming out to $2,000 per taxpayer. So if you didn't have a student loan get paid off, isn't that called taxation without representation? Something our forefathers had a little tea party about.
yeah, it's all bullshit. And the way they're kind of describing it. Even the press secretary that they got, she couldn't even come up with a good lie as to what all that means. You know what I'm saying? Where is this money coming from to pay off all this debt? It's just a straight freaking communist move is the way I look at it, man. All that is, you know.
So to what you just said, Daniel, the ATF being weaponized, the FBI being weaponized, the IRS being weaponized is nothing new.
Right.
I mean, for the three people out there that have ever watched my channel, and anybody who remembers a decade ago when
You
I
have
was
a channel?
doing nothing but news, you know, this was things that I was talking about 10 years ago when they were doing it, when they were going through and making illegal rulings, and the IRS was targeting people and all this other stuff. This has been going on since the inception of all of those agencies.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Good time. So I could say is that you're gonna make a lawful person an unlawful person pretty quickly. So I could say.
And that's pretty much it. And the ATF themselves have admitted many times over in the past couple months that they have no right to regulate parts or pieces. But there they are.
And
knocking
my
on
thing
doors,
is,
knocking on doors for parts and pieces.
yeah, like yeah, I could just imagine one of them fools, knocking on my door. Be like, "You got a search warrant?" I go, "Fuck off, then. Get out of my fucking property." Good times, man. Are we coming up on that time?
Yep, we are. We're getting there. And we'll start with you, Battle Bean.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I know I'm a little late, but I was driving. Do want to say it's always great to see all my good friends here and all the guys in the side chat. I don't have really nothing going on, but if I do, you might be seeing some more reviews on stuff that I like to, use like shoes or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, stay tuned. Much love. Appreciate everybody, and have a good rest of the week.
Awesome. Always good having you, man. And congratulations again, dude. It's awesome. Jamie, what you got, brother?
I have a video in the can. It'll be released on Tuesday. It's a video for CW. Y'all know CW had bypass surgery, so keep him in your prayers. He's at home and recuperating very well. He was even able to cook supper for the wife tonight. And I think his surgery was Tuesday. That's absolutely amazing to me. So keep him in your prayers and good positive thoughts. We'll see y'all Friday night at 8 o'clock on the Georgia Shooting Connection channel, and we're going to give away a bunch of prizes, Lord willing. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. Always good seeing you. Matt, what you got?
Well, thanks for having me on. It's been a while. Haven't been able to make it last couple times. You'd sent me a email, but yeah, good conversation. I don't have a whole lot going on. I've got a video coming out tomorrow or Tuesday about a scope that the worst scope I've ever used. I shot it in the video because I was the
Why
best
do
thing
you
that
always
could
have
happen to it.
shitty stuff you review? You had that
Because shitty companies.
gun
What?
belt. You had that $59.99 gun belt.
That gun belt's a piece of shit. That Groove Life gun belt. No, it's actually, it's less common for me to get really, really crappy stuff, but this is a really, really crappy scope. And I told them I didn't want to review it, and they were like, "Well, we want an honest review." I'm like, "You got it."
You got it.
You got it, and it got shot in the video because that was the best ending for that piece of shit I could possibly think of. So that'll be coming out tomorrow or Tuesday.
You have anger issues, sir.
Maybe. But thanks for having me on. It's good seeing you, Mario, and everybody else, and Daniel, and Jamie, Alan, Scotsman's logo.
I appreciate you, man. Daniel, what you got going on, brother?
Well, I've got an idea for a video. If I get up in the morning and feel like it, I'll go out there and shoot it. Everybody that is putting your prayers for CW for a good recovery. Everything. I've known a couple people here in the last few months that had to get that surgery, and it is painful. The person is in pain for a long time, going to be down for a long time. Don't forget about the Willie fundraiser that the Georgia Shooting Connection on the Reloaders Network is having. It's about your last few days to get the donations in. So if you're feeling willing, get going. Thanks for having me on, and side chat. Good night.
Awesome. Always appreciate you. Good seeing everyone out there. Appreciate everyone out there. Lots of good comments and lots of good interaction. Appreciate y'all. And with that being said, I'm going to throw it over to Alan, the camel lover, to take a shot right.
The schlong writer.
Yeah, it was good to be back this week. I don't know if I'll ever go to Tennessee again. But I do I do have a project that I've been working on, and it's almost completely in the can. I haven't started editing yet, but it's going to be coming out September 31st. So make sure you look forward to that. Other than that, thank you everybody for coming. And as always, keep the magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Woo!